Today, we're talking about the welfare cliff and how this benefit package is the critical component to moms staying on welfare. I'm R.W. Jones, the Brillionaire, and I help moms and dads use the system to beat the system legally. Today, we're talking about the welfare cliff and how this benefit package is the critical component to moms staying on welfare. See, it's kind of like reverse psychology. On one hand, they make the benevolent Uncle Sam this package so good, so irresistible that nobody in their right mind will turn it down. And then when you take it, you are by far the bum. You are the low life. You are the one that needs to get a job. You are the one that is shamed and ridiculed for being poor. You are the one that took the handout, the little crumbs off the table. Because as you see behind me, we're going to go through this little worksheet step by step so you can see, well, this is really not crumbs. It's crumbs compared to what the big dogs get, the big corporations, when they get billion-dollar bailouts, where I say everybody's on welfare. But I need all of my people. If you're in policy, if you're working for a program, a service coordinator, if you're working for a housing authority, Department of Health and Human Services, I need y'all to listen up because y'all know this game. But you still work for a system that deploys these type of practices. So let's get into it. Number one, the welfare benefit cliff is by far the one and only reason why she is still on the system. Now, some might say, no, she's on the system because the fathers is not supporting the children. Just put a pin in that. We'll come back to that, right? But let's just talk about, okay, she pregnant. You pregnant, you got this baby coming, and he is not capable or able to support you, him, and the baby, obviously. So she goes down to the Department of Social Services. And the Department of Social Services will give temporary assistance for needy families. They'll give Medicaid for low income. They'll give food stamps for low income. You could qualify for housing if you're low income. So the goal is you have to stay low income to get any of these provisions, which take care of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. They are the basic survival mechanisms that every human being needs in order to thrive, not just survive. So if we look at just right here, housing. In most states, while, let's see, we're talking, this is numbers from Virginia. And it's actually numbers from like rural Virginia. So that's a big difference if we're talking urban, rural communities, big difference. But I want you to see the money stacked up on top of each other so you can tell me what decision will you make. Number one, she receives about, this is for 3-bedroom, $1,700 in a voucher. Now, housing all by itself, who don't need affordable housing? Everybody needs affordable housing. So come on now, we already losing right there. We losing right there. Then they have these utilities in public housing. There's actually this utility payment. I don't know who came up with this, but whoever came up with it was a wicked, brilliant person. Then you have health insurance. Who don't need health insurance? First of all, this poverty trap has created an insurmountable amount of mental health issues, but that imploded it on his body. So now you have all these ailments going on. Of course, you need medical benefits. You're looking at $7,400 on the low end. Now, listen. $7,400. Are you making $7,400 cash right now? You or your children's fathers? No, many of you are not. But now, if you take this amount times it by 12, you are now looking at a benefit package of almost $90,000 for doing absolutely nothing but staying poor. So for all you guys out there and people who like the rhetoric, talk about go get a job. Why? This is my job. You go get a job that's going to pay you $90,000. Let's see how you figure out. And that's just too much room to the flesh. You know, the Bible says don't give no room to the flesh. You give me $90,000 just to sit home and not do nothing? Now, here's a goal. So basically, in a nutshell, she's going to need about $100,000 of personal income just to release herself from the system. And if you do not have the skills to exchange in the marketplace, $100,000, you will forever be dependent on the system, which is why many of us have not left the system, because you can't make $100,000. That part. So then the question becomes, okay, how do I ante up? How do I master my gift, master my skills, gifts, skills, abilities, the whole KSAs, so that when I go in the market, I can exchange my time for either a wage that pays me close to that $100,000, or come up with a business idea and a venture that can eventually pay me at least that much to reduce myself from the dependency of the system. So whether you like it or not, here's the truth. Everything is changing. God would have you only dependent upon him. With this new administration and all of the stuff they're about to do, it's about to be major changes. So if I was you, I will get myself on the good foot, the right side of Jesus in this moment. Seriously. And I will do all that I can to make sure that I have a skill, a talent, and that my gift is mastered in this season, to whereas I can barter, to, I can exchange time for labor. I can survive, because I would not want to be dependent upon this administration and their decisions, because I don't think they think about life like you do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we have created this generational poverty that has absolutely, beyond the shadow of a doubt, helped America build its wealth. Because as you stay poor, everybody builds on top of you in the name of helping you, and you get nothing. How do we spend trillions fighting poverty every year and everybody's still poor? One, poverty has nothing to do with money. It's a whole entire mindset and a spirit at the same time. And then number two, if you think about poverty in itself, and you think about the crimes that is being committed right now, men are in jail, women are in jail, not because of real heinous crimes, which many are, but most of the crimes for Black and brown people are because of crimes of poverty. Robbing, I got to take from you because I don't have. Stealing, which is the same as robbery. Gangs, drugs, that's a form of survival. It's commerce at the end of the day. Fraud, check writing, forgery, what other kind? Prostitution. It's commerce, baby. I promise you, if she had another way, she wouldn't sell her body. She wouldn't. If you had another way, you probably wouldn't even sell drugs. But these are the paths that we took to survive, because there was an economy that absolutely locked us out. So the moral of this story is, make sure you are dependent upon no man to feed you and your family. Your heads, there's this phrase that if you take the learning of your mind to the place where the passions of your heart meets the talents of your hands, that is the place where you make impact. That's the place where you find destiny. That's purpose. We call it our North Star. Find your North Star. Find your path of purpose. Let's get up into this, freedom train that we got going on. Find your seat, find your place, and let's do God wholeheartedly